Hello to those of you who are tuning in for our Impact the World shows in the month of April. Because of everything that's been going on with the coronavirus and the fact that so many of us are quarantined at home, we've slightly changed our programming for this month. Most of our episodes are filmed many months ahead, and so what we've done for this month is curated special episodes that feel like they might be most relevant or pertinent to you while you're at home deepening your education, looking for entertainment, or perhaps needing to be inspired with what it is that you're going to do in the world. So stay tuned for this show that we have specially curated for you. We hope you really enjoy it, and thanks so much for tuning in. And hey, if you really enjoy the show, please do go to Apple Podcasts and give us a rating or a review. That kind of thing allows other people to find the show. So if you are enjoying what you're hearing or watching, we'd really appreciate a review. Big love. Welcome to Impact the World, the show for and about creatives, changemakers, and entrepreneurs. This is an insight episode where I share a few quick tips to help you take your work and mission to the next level. One of the things that will often stop people, and I will hear this time and time again, is fear of being seen through doing their work in the world. Now, it doesn't mean everybody is going to be on camera, but it could be as simple as being seen as the CEO of your business, or being seen in a different way in a business meeting that you have to go into. So I always feel that underneath our fear of being seen is our fear of experiencing the world differently, because that is what will happen to us. When we show up and allow ourselves to be seen, we create a ripple effect. Other people see us differently, they interact with us differently, and new information comes our way, new experiences come our way, but it's our comfort of our habits and our being used to our little comfort zone, our little pattern that makes us afraid to be seen at the next level. So here's a couple of things to think about if for you the phrase being afraid to be seen resonates. I think underneath it for so many of us, it is this fear of, will I be judged? The answer is absolutely yes. The other answer is you won't know 95% of the judgment that's coming your way. It's no different to walking down the street. You might be walking down the street in your own zone and somebody sees you from the other side of the road and you have no idea, you're completely unaware of them, or even if you feel slightly aware of them, you don't really know what they're thinking. And often what they're judging about you is a reflection of something in themselves. So we often have a fear of getting on camera, getting on audio, or doing a podcast, or doing an interview, or standing up at our local town hall and giving a speech, or putting our hand up in a room full of people and saying something. It's our fear of judgment. What will the crowd think of me? The only difference between not standing up and standing up is we live in a judgmental society, and the difference when you stand up to be seen is you get used to feeling that slightly more exposed moment. Often I think what happens for people is they're worried that if they go public with their work, and I hear this a lot and I totally get it, it was my truth too, that they're suddenly living this very exposed life. But the truth is, we are all seen and then unseen depending on the moment or the day. So you could be living a very public life. You could be somebody who hundreds of thousands or millions of people know, but your actual experience of your life might be very quiet. You might be just in your house, pottering about, doing small things. So we have this dysmorphic idea of what putting ourselves out into the world really means and what it will do for our life. And I think that comes from my next point. Our fear of being seen is often a subconscious fear of mass fame. Now, I'm 43 right now, so I grew up in the era where mass fame happened for certain people, very big celebrities, very big stars. If you're younger than me, you will have grown up in the internet era where a lot of us are much more seen and heard than we ever were before. So it might feel much more normal for you to be on Instagram or out there in the world. But for many of us, there can be this underlying fear of mass fame. We tend to get it a little wrong in our head. We're worried to start a YouTube channel because we think all of a sudden we're going to be Brad Pitt in a week. And it's not going to go that way for most people. Very few people have that level of mass fame in the world where an enormous number of people know them. But again, you will have a localized version of being known, being seen, whether it's in the building that you work in, that you are now running the company of, or whether it's you putting yourself out there online through social media. And equally, you might not be a public face, but you being seen might be developing the confidence to be the leader in your team, and that is a growth edge for you. So the same rules apply. You will be seen a certain way when you stand up to be seen, and the way you are seen is going to depend completely on how everybody else is constructed. And it's kind of none of your business, but you would deny yourself the experience of what being seen will give you if you aren't willing to follow that call, to stand up, to say what you need to say, to do what you need to do. It's the experience that your soul is craving, even as your ego is fearing what it doesn't know about that experience or what it thinks it won't be able to handle. This brings me to my next point, which is learning to be seen is a great gift because it gives us the growth of learning to be free of our fear of the judgments of others. Doesn't mean you're going to love being judged necessarily, but it does mean you'll have gone from that very early developmental stage of I don't want to be judged to, oh, that's what judgment feels like. Oh, that's what a negative comment about my behavior or my video on YouTube or somebody who didn't like the way that I just led that meeting. It will come to you, you will process it, you will learn from it, it will teach you something, but ultimately you will learn to no longer be stopped by your fear of the judgment of others, which is very important because judgment is always coming from a wounded place. So if you're letting the wounds of the rest of the world stop you learn how to grow, shine your light, speak your truth, you're denying yourself an experience as much as you are denying everyone else the experience they will have through you standing up and being willing to be seen. I'm super grateful to the people in my life who went through whatever they had to go through to be willing to be seen, who have helped me, whether they were showing up in my local community or whether they're people I've seen out there through video, audio, books, other forms. I also know that they, through their journeys, learnt to feel freer of the judgments of others and to not let the judgments of others stop them doing their work in the world. Another point to consider is people will deselect you. We tend to focus where we want to focus. We focus on what's serving us. We focus on something that's feeding some part of our fascination. So often we worry about standing up in a room full of people because we're worried that all eyes are on us. But try and remember, some eyes will really be on you and some eyes will be semi-interested in you and other eyes won't even really be looking at you. They'll be thinking about something else that they've got going on in their life. So people deselect you more than you realize. So being willing to be seen is being willing to be selected, but people will also ignore you, stop looking at you, decide you're not for them. So don't deselect yourself before you let others deselect you. My point in saying all of this is nobody's really going to be looking at you as closely as you fear they might be, and most of them won't be judging you for the things that you're afraid of being judged for, which is the other part of it. Are we afraid of being judged by others? Or are we afraid that by standing up there, being seen, being heard, we're actually going to reveal to ourselves the very things that we're judging ourselves for? The gift of that is it helps you get over it. Last but not least, when I was many years ago, earlier on in this work, I was channeling for myself, and my guides told me that in years to come, my work would grow and my work would be known by more people. And that scared me at the time. And they said to me something that is very true, and now I'm in this experience, I can see the truth of it. They said, any fear you have about being more known by people is going to be greatly outweighed by the experiences you have, the connections you make, the gifts that you receive, and also some of the challenges you will go through that you will learn from and become a stronger human being because of. I can honestly say that about 6 years, 7 years after receiving that message and experiencing that, it is true. Our willingness to be seen is our willingness to become stronger in who we are, to stand for who we are at an all new level, which most of us at a soul level are really craving. So I think you are ready to be seen, and I think you have been more seen in your life than you probably realize. The difference is, are you willing to be seen in the moments, areas, or on the days where you're afraid to be seen? Those are the really powerful moments to step through. When your fear comes up, if you're able to take a step, it creates a huge shift in your life, in your experience, and you never know how you might be benefiting others. Good luck with your journey of being seen. You have been listening to Impact the World. For more of my work, please visit leeharrisenergy.com.